Howard Stern Show ends, and the wrap-up show begins. Welcome to the wrap-up show.
The wrap-up show.
A recap and behind-the-scenes look at the Stern Show. Call in
888-STERN-100.
The wrap-up show with John Hein and Gary Delabate. Wrap-up show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the wrap-up show. I'm John Hein, joined as always by Gary Delabate. Hello, hello. And our new co-host, Natalie Maines.
Hello.
Teddy's on the board. Very special guest joining us on the wrap-up show, Eric the Midget. We'll get to your calls, 888-STERN-100, 888-783-7610. Give us a call. Let us know what you thought of today's show, a Monday Howard Stern show. Plenty going on. Beth finishes the marathon, and Howard doesn't like his picture in the paper. Robin has her new Sarah Palin glasses on. Natalie comes in and does a live rendition of When I See Beth Smiling, with Fred accompanying her, although a lot of people thought Fred wouldn't be able to pull it together in time, but he came through.
Yeah.
But the big story, no offense to Natalie, of course, was the first in-studio appearance of Eric the Midget. Eric, how you doing?
I'm good.
Now, did everything go as you thought it would today, or were you genuinely surprised by what happened?
Well, I'm genuinely surprised by some of it, but, of course, I definitely did not like seeing High Pitch there.
Well, High Pitch wasn't there. It was Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, right.
Now, who pisses you off more, High Pitch Eric or Steve Langford?
I'd say probably High Pitch.
Because?
Well, he's just obnoxious.
And what is Steve? What is it about Steve that you don't dig?
Well, his reporting was getting on my nerves because he was just digging too much into my personal business and stuff.
But that's what a reporter does.
Well, especially when personal business is advertised and promoted ad nauseum on the Stern Show.
Okay.
I don't remember, what was the exact thing that you were upset by?
Well, first it started last year with, the whole thing with Diana, calling her mom. And then, of course, in January and February was the whole digging into my relationship that I had at that time.
Well, let me ask you a question. Was the reporting that Steve did on Diana DeGarmo, was there any part of it that was not true?
I didn't call that much. I mean, he really kind of blew it quite a bit out of proportion.
So you think Steve exaggerated to make the story sound better, something along those lines?
Well, it sounds like today that we, if anything, we underplayed it.
Oh, is that because of the news story you did? I don't know if Eric heard that.
Well, it sounds like, listening to the Stern Show today, that there were a lot of phone calls made.
Just from Diana talking, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Now, Steve, do you have an in for Eric? Do you have an agenda with him? Because you two seem to go at it quite a bit.
Well, I seem to go at it with everyone.
That's true. But Eric in particular, I'd say.
No. So, I mean, take a number here. I mean, everybody who's in the crosshairs of a good news story believes or yells, "Why me? Why me?"
That is true.
Natalie, do you find Steve strange at all? Do you think he's sort of has an agenda with Eric or anybody else on the show as a fan?
I think he's doing his job. I personally can't get past the huge penis, so I wasn't even listening.
Alleged.
But Steve is our reporter. We sent Steve out on some stories where he did amazing work and everybody loved it. Don't forget, this is the guy that sat in a cab with Elliot off, and while Elliot went crazy and refused to get out, I got great tape. So when you hear those stories, you think that's great. So if he's going to be a reporter, he's got to report on everyone, right, Eric?
I guess you do have a point there.
But Eric still has a right to get mad about it.
Well, sure. Eric's asked numerous times to have Steve kicked off, right? You've called for Steve's job, correct, Eric?
Yes.
And Steve, how do you respond to such accusations?
Listen, it's just the same old thing. Nobody likes being in the crosshairs. Everybody wants me fired. Well, maybe somebody will fire me. Who knows?
Well, Eric, you've got Steve right in front of you. Feel free to say whatever you've wanted to say to him over the past year or so.
Well, right now things between him and I aren't that bad at the moment. I've been giving him interviews the last couple of weeks and, doing stories with him. So right at the moment, things aren't too bad with him, so I guess wouldn't have all that much negative to say to him right now.
See, this is why we live in the bizarro universe. Eric is granting interviews, and we're happy to get them.
Steve, what would you like to say in
By the way,
response?
obviously, I want to say it's very nice to meet you. For the first time in person. This is great.
Right.
We did have a story late last week, which I need to ask you about. Another promotional appearance, an appearance at Arco Arena in Sacramento coming up on February 27th.
Right.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, on February 27th, when the Kings play the Clippers, I will be doing a meet and greet event or, appearance before the game.
In the arena?
In the arena.
Now, is the team aware of your presence?
Yes, because it's being set up through one of the guys that works with the Maloof company, and he's one of their ticket sales people, and he's the one helping me put this all together.
Who introduced you to the Maloofs, Eric?
You guys.
Who specifically?
You.
Just okay. I just want to make that clear.
Are you and Eric on good terms, Gary? 'Cause I
Yeah.
know you guys run hot and cold.
No,
a
I
little
think
bit.
we sort of, I told him today to his face, which is a little bit easier, what my issue is with him, as I feel that he's not grateful enough. Like, when we get him into stuff, I have to drag a thank you out of him. But I think we talked about it today, so we're starting with a clean slate. Should last till Thursday.
And Natalie, you're shaking your head. You agree with what Gary's saying about Eric being a bit ungrateful at times?
Well, that's why I love him.
Right. I told Eric that the thing that really upset me was he asked me to get him into this event with the Maloofs, and I didn't call him back for 2 days because I was working on it, and he left me this horribly angry message. He's like, "Fuck you. If you're fucking pranking me, then go fuck yourself." And I was really legitimately working on getting him in, and then I called him. But we discussed that, and now we're past it.
Eric, is that fair, or do you feel like you're ungrateful, or you get a sort of a bad rap for that?
I think I kind of get a bad rap for it. Because, I have said thank you on occasion, and a lot of the times when I have said thank you on air, it will get stepped over by Fred playing a sound effect or Artie saying, "Okay, that's it, bye," or something to that effect.
Do you think I'm worried that you won't be able to be angry now that you've come here and met everyone and everyone's been nice to you. Are you still going to be able to be the little angry Eric I love?
I'm sure that, at some point Stern or, anyone else on the show will say something that will piss me off, or a caller will call in and say something that will piss me off to bring me back into that mood again.
I hope so.
Well, I hate to interrupt Kumbaya here. On that note, Johnny Fratto now acknowledging, he claims, that he bought all 50 tickets for the people, the fans, the alleged fans who went to your last appearance at Arco Arena in Sacramento, that there were 0.0 tickets sold for your personal appearance. He stepped in secretly, he claims, and bought all 50 tickets.
I guess since he's come out with that, then I should say that, yeah, he did do that.
So did that mean that nobody showed up?
Well, not exactly. I mean, the event, I was still signing autographs for the staff people that worked at the arena. So, I still technically did a meet and greet, but it was just the staff people working at the arena came in to the suite that they put me in, and I signed autographs for them, took pictures with them, and, shook hands and talked to them and stuff.
So to phrase it correctly, nobody bought a ticket other than Johnny Fratto.
Well, yeah, also we did not do that great of a job at promoting it.
Well, we did.
Right.
We promoted the heck out of it.
Why do you think that you had trouble with ticket sales? Because, I know, not that I'm comparing you to, but a Beetlejuice announces he's at a club, and, he'll get a couple hundred people there. Why do you think you have trouble selling tickets? Are you asking too much?
No, the tickets, because of it's just the regular price ticket. So, if I was there or if I wasn't there, the ticket would still be the same price for any one of the home games.
So how are you making money then?
They just give me a little percentage of the people that come in to buy tickets for solely or pretty much to meet me.
You know, I know what went wrong.
And then attend the game.
I know what went wrong. Jim just wrote me a note. It was a WNBA game. I'm surprised anyone was there.
That's true. It was the Monarchs, right? So, Eric, we have limited time on today's wrap-up show. I'm thrilled that you're here, genuinely. When you were in there, who were you most excited to see? You had Natalie from the Dixie Chicks. You had Diana DeGarmo, Kurt Angle, Kelly Clarkson, all those people. Which one really did it for you?
Well,
remember who's in the room right now.
It definitely was cool to meet you, Natalie.
Thanks.
And Kurt Angle was also cool. You got to keep in mind that until she walked through the door, I had no idea Diana was going to be a part of it. That when you guys sprung on me. So, I didn't know that she was going to be a part of it. And definitely when she came through the door, I was kind of thrilled to see her because, she's real cool. I got to meet her a couple other times prior to this and hang out with her a little bit, and it was good to get to see her again.
Now, both Howard and Kurt Angle were telling you, this is your chance, this is the one time you should express how you truly feel about her, but you hesitated. Were you nervous? What was going on through your mind at that point?
Well, yeah, I was quite a bit nervous to kind of do it in that public forum of being on air with everybody.
And are you glad with the way things turned out?
Yeah, I'm glad that it turned out the way it did.
How did it turn out?
Well, she didn't really say no, but she didn't really say yes to possibly going out to dinner one of the times that she's in California next.
She didn't? I thought she said no.
No, I didn't hear a no, and I don't think Kurt Angle did or anyone else.
Yeah, I don't think you should. You should never hear a no, Eric.
What about Booker T? Did Booker T hear a no? What is that Mafia again? What is that Mafia?
The Main Event Mafia, which Eric is now a part of, apparently.
Do you know what that is? Did you know what that was before today?
Sure, it's the posse with... Well, Eric described it better than I could.
It's the bigger name guys in TNA. There's only 5 of them at the moment, but I guess the group might grow bigger, and they're trying to take over the TNA, and the younger guys that have only been in TNA and not any of the other wrestling organizations are trying to stop them.
Now, Natalie, is your offer for a dinner date still on for Eric?
Possibly, yeah. Where are you taking me?
I have no idea.
My concern for Eric is that he's outgrowing Johnny Fratto. I think it's Johnny Fratto's fault that nobody shows up to these things.
You might be right.
Have you thought about parting company, Eric, and sort of going your own way, especially after an appearance like today?
Well, I know later I have an interview to do with his Mob Candy magazine. So, I got that.
See, I think Natalie's right. I think she's right on the money. I think that much like using the Ralph model, he needs to now ascend to a higher caliber celebrity to glom off of.
I think someone could make you more money. I think you're making him more money than he's making you. But, I listen, Johnny Fratto, love ya.
Now, what about everybody else in the studio? Is the first time you've ever met? I know you saw Artie at a show of his, but you never met Howard or Fred or Robin. What were your impressions of them today?
It was cool to get to meet them. I actually really didn't get to meet Fred. He stayed at his post the whole time. I never shook hands with him or anything like that.
Did anybody look any different, or did anybody seem any different when you met them in person as far as a personality?
No, not really. The only thing that really looked different was, I guess, because the camera angles on the Howard TV, the room looked like it was in reverse.
Oh, I see.
Am I a lot better looking than you expected?
I guess.
Thank you. Now, the last time I remember when Fred was during Steve's story, Fred did that 0.0 thing, and that's the most angry I think you've ever been on the show. You threatened to break all of Fred's fingers. Am I remembering that correctly?
Right.
Can you describe how you would do that?
I don't know, really.
See, now when you see her here, he's funnier.
So you've made peace.
Right.
Does anybody in the studios tick you off at this point? I know Artie gives you a lot of shit.
Right, he does give me quite a bit. You know, he may be one of them, and, you know, Fred's still constantly playing this Hounds doesn't help any.
Yeah, I felt bad for Eric when Kurt Angle said, you know, say what you have to say to, you know, to Diana, and there was this long pause, and then I just heard, quack, quack. It was sort of like, you're ruining the dude's moment.
You were so nervous, but you lit up. That
Yeah.
I think I saw you truly happy when Diana walked in.
Yeah, actually, Teddy, that's clip number 1 if you have it. If you missed it, here is the legendary meeting of Eric the Midget and Diana DeGarmo.
If you saw Diana DeGarmo, what would you do? Would that be good?
Would you let us make a real doll of you?
Well, that would be good, but I don't know.
Can we make a real doll of you if I produce Diana DeGarmo?
Come on, say yes.
Well, I kind of do have a connection to meeting her away from the show, too.
No, that ain't gonna
We're
happen.
talking about right now,
Really?
today,
Right now.
guaranteed. If we can produce her.
What if we can meet her without FBI agents and
Just
stuff?
give me a yes, and right through that door will walk Diana DeGarmo just to meet you. Give me a yes.
Yes.
Yes. Come on in, Diana DeGarmo. And if it's hyperbaric,
We're in trouble.
here is Diana DeGarmo, ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh, standing next to Eric.
Hi, how are you? Good. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Now, Eric, did you say yes knowing that, like, I'm sure in the back of your mind you were thinking, no way Diana DeGarmo is going to walk in that door. So did you say yes to the real doll hoping that was going to happen, or were you just like, oh, what the hell, I'm going to go for it?
Yeah, I kind of didn't think that you guys actually had her here.
Who did you expect to walk through the door?
I did not know, actually.
And Natalie, you said his face just lit up when she came in the room.
Yes, people should watch it on Howard TV because you can see him on the inside just light up. He's giddy, and he can't look at her. And he could look at Kurt and touch his hand and talk to him look at him straight in the eye, but not Diana.
It was actually sort of an exciting moment. Like, Fred and I looked at each other because Eric was so excited. It was sort of one of those moments.
Yeah.
Let's take some phone calls. Ralph Sorello, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey now.
Hey, Ralph.
The hotline phone was not working, so I have some quick things if you'd like to talk about anything. First of all, Eric, you blew it with Diana. You had your moment. You asked her to dinner. That's not going to happen. You should have started off slow, like I did with Natalie. Work her into your evil web.
Yeah, what's going on with you two? You say, Howard talked about it during the news. You said you developed some kind of relationship.
Listen, I would have a relationship with anyone here. I love this show.
Did Ralph come to your
Natalie's close to a stalker.
Right.
Did Ralph come to your Halloween party?
No.
But if he did, if he called you and said he wanted to come, but he needed
he was invited.
And he needed a place to crash, would you let him crash at the house?
I told him he could stay at my house.
Right.
But I wasn't paying. I think he was waiting for me to say, I'll pay for you to come out. I didn't do that.
Yeah, well, that's why you're not going to be my new BFF.
He's got all those Sam Simon points he could have flown on.
I know. I thought he might ask Sam Simon, but no. Prefers Hawaii.
What else you got, Ralph?
Fred, it was great to hear the song, but the guitar was way too loud. Like, just way too loud. And I don't know what Howard was talking about with that morning zoo contest thing he was playing. The first entry was just dreadful. It was horrible.
He called me yesterday morning right before Beth started running, and he said, hey, I want to go over this list with you. And he said, there's a clear-cut winner to me. When he told me that, I said, gee, man, I heard that, and I just didn't hear it.
It was like every bad thing that you would goof. I mean, it's terrible. They were like reading off a script. Well, tell me, Johnny, what's next?
Yeah. I mean, we were all adamantly against it to the point where Howard said, you guys pick the winners.
Eric, how do you feel about Ralph?
Oh, he gets on my nerves quite a bit.
Why?
Because
Don't you realize that I'm one of your biggest fans, and I just having fun with you?
Oh, yeah, but I like a lot of other people think that you call in way too much.
This is the guy who's on the phone every morning. Please.
Are you just jealous that Howard picks up with him faster?
Maybe a little.
I mean, Ralph is probably a stipulation to you having dinner with us tonight. Would you be able to have dinner with me and Ralph?
I don't know about that.
Well, wait a second. What makes you think I want to have dinner with Eric?
Oh, please, you love it.
No. We'll have to wheel him around or something.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would you have dinner with Ralph if it was Ralph, you, and Diana DeGarmo.
That maybe.
See, so it's really about me. He doesn't like me. It's not Ralph.
No.
Eric's confused.
I did not even notice that you did not throw yourself into that.
Natalie, he's still under the delusion that he could bang her. He knows he's not going to bang you.
Eric, why didn't you
and I'm nicer than
I know.
Eric, why didn't you just ask for her email or her text or something? Why did you just make that clumsy grab for her boob? You know what I mean? Like, you got to start slow.
Because I can contact her through MySpace.
No, not MySpace. Every other stalker does that. You're a special stalker.
Yeah, you were looking for the stalker hotline.
Eric, would you like me to hang up on Ralph and move on?
But wait a second.
That would be nice.
All right, Eric requested it, and I'll do it. Bye, Ralph.
Hey, by the way, did anybody find that was a little bit sort of demeaning to Diana DeGarmo that we said to Eric, who would you like? And first it was Kelly Clarkson, then it was Catherine McPhee.
Went down the idol list.
She was like third choice.
Now, the other...
Because it was supposed to be someone that was a complete surprise to me, given the fact that I met Diana twice, and the other two I've never met even once. That's why I went with those two first.
I was waiting for you to guess Carrie Underwood. I figured that would have been...
Well, I met her twice also.
Oh, you're right. Now, the other half of this equation, of course, is that you've agreed now to have a real doll made of you. Do you regret that decision?
I agreed to the measurement part.
Yeah, we won't use it. We won't use those measurements for anything.
Yeah, no.
But it's cool. It'll be funny. I think the guy hit it right in the head. It's an honor to have a real doll made of you, and it's not really like anybody will be, doing that to you.
All right, Teddy, let's take a break. When we come back, more with Eric, more with Natalie. We'll take more of your calls. We'll talk about everything that happened on today's show. You're listening to the Wrap-Up Show, and you can hear us only on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Hi, this is Cyndi Lauper, and you're listening to John Hine. Oh, man, I gotta do that one again. Hi, this is Cyndi Lauper, and you're listening to John Hine and Gary Dell'Abate. Hey, he's Italian. Okay. Hi, this is Cyndi Lauper, and you're listening to John Hine and Gary Dell'Abate on The Wrap-Up Show.
Welcome back to the Wrap-Up Show. John, Gary, Benji, Natalie Maines, Eric the Midget. Teddy's on the board. We'll take your calls. 888-STERN-100, 888-783-7610. Got to give a compliment to Natalie. You did a great job hosting Celebrity Superfan.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good. I was riveted to that. It's one of the few times I had to go to my basement because my kids were upstairs, but I thought you guys did a kick-ass job on that show.
Thanks. We want to do more.
Now, Gary, where does Natalie rank in terms of super fans? I mean, is it, you guys debated, a whack packer with money is, that's the only difference between being a whack packer and not being a whack packer? Where would you say Natalie ranks? Is Natalie a bigger fan than Eric the Midget, let's say?
I think so, because Natalie said something that I don't even think Eric can say. Natalie said on the Celebrity Superfan that she has not missed one show since we started at Sirius. Is that true, or did you embellish a little? I
mean, I think it's true, but we were on tour. There was probably a morning or two. But, because it's on satellite and I can listen anytime, I've almost heard every single
When you're on the road, you still have satellite with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So she's a pretty big fan. Eric, have you ever missed a show?
Yeah, actually I have.
Why?
What were you doing?
Because of different trips that I've been on.
I go on trips.
Right.
I listen.
Right, but you're on a beautiful tour bus.
Got my stiletto. Got my computer.
Right.
Eric, did you like Natalie on Celebrity Superfan?
Yeah, she was good.
It was Jillian Barberie that pissed you off, right?
Right, and Jimmy Kimmel.
And I pissed you off a little, too, but that's okay.
Yeah, but it's all right now.
All right, good. I blew him earlier. He's fine now.
Eric, you got to admit that before the show, I don't know what you were doing, but you've gotten laid. You've met Natalie. You've met Diana DeGarmo. You've gone to a bunch of American Idol stuff, and you've got a little cottage industry of doing appearances. What's really the downside of the show? I mean, the show's really brought you a lot.
Oh, yeah, but I guess pretty much the downside is...
We got you on American Dreams as an acting part.
Oh, right. The downside is that, my parents aren't completely happy with some of the stuff that has come out on air. And, I've had to catch the crap after from them.
See, that's where I really feel bad for you because because you are a grown-up, but it's almost like you're a child, like you're beholden to them. When you were saying this morning that your parents were mad you were getting laid, like, how do they expect you to get laid?
Well, see, right now in the situation we're in, I'm with my roommate living in a house owned by them. So we have to kind of toe the line and follow their rules because it's their owned house.
How do you generate income? Like, are you one of those SSI guys? Do you get SSI?
Yes, I get SSI.
But not enough to live the way you live right now.
Right.
Because your parents own the house and it's a nice house.
Right, and that's also why I came up with doing the JFSC.TV/ETA store.
Now, the guy that lives with you, I've never been able to figure out, is he a friend or is he more of like a caretaker friend?
Oh, he's been a friend since junior high.
But he helps you with everything, right?
Right. Well, pretty much there are things that here and there that I do myself.
Right. And what's going to be the fallout from today? Like, did your parents say to you, if you go there, there'll be trouble, or did you?
No, they didn't mind me going here. They just wanted me to not reveal a whole bunch.
Like well, good.
Like for instance, they don't want you talking about the threesome from last night.
Yeah. Well, that's why I couldn't let the two girls take, the control of saying, what happened last night instead of it coming out of my mouth.
Now, are your parents going to listen today, or do you think they're just going to read it on that website that they go to?
They'll probably just read it because I don't think they have a serious account.
Do you think your parents would ever? I mean, the threat is there, but are they ever really going to put you out?
I hope not.
Shouldn't there be a little piece of them? I'm a parent myself, and I would be. I mean, I get why it's not the greatest thing and not necessarily what you would want your son to have to endure, but you seem happy, and they should just be happy for you that you've gotten laid and that you're living life, things that, maybe you never thought you would get to do, and now you do. I don't know. I can see, I'm hoping maybe it's just new to them, and they'll just learn to not read about it and know about it, but still love you as their son. That's what I would do.
But we've been down that road before, and it's true that we've had people who have had kids who have issues, and they said, okay, the show's goofing around a little bit, but it's allowed them to do things that they might not have ever gotten to do.
And it's kind of sad, too. I think parents, even though they're paying for you, I think that there has to, growing up, all of us have to mind our parents' rules because we're in their house. But I think at a certain age, that rule shouldn't apply. But if it does, may I say, get yourself a really good manager, and you could start making all of your own money with this real doll and with your appearances and with all sorts of stuff.
Now, Eric, some people were doubting that you had sex with those two women that were in there today. Anything you'd like to say about that?
Well, if they doubt that, they're wrong. Because I did.
I think he had sex. I just don't know if I think he had an orgasm. Because I think it's weird that he doesn't know how many orgasms he had.
Well, you got to also take into consideration I'm kind of new to this whole thing. So, I don't exactly know, when that happens.
Well, let's hold on a second.
But you know it when you're rubbing on the bed, yeah.
Right.
Well,
you know when that happens, right?
Yeah, but it feels quite a bit different.
There's a feeling of euphoria that can't be,
how does it feel?
That can't be missed.
In what way does it feel different?
Well, you got an actual real woman in bed with you instead of just off the bed.
But you feel that rush of a roller coaster, spinning my head around and taking my body over. You know what I'm talking? Like you know what it feels like to finish, right?
Maybe it's different for Eric though. Like, how do you feel when you finish?
Well, I just a little bit of chills go up and down, when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been able to tell a couple of times when it's happened, and although sometimes when I think it has happened, it actually hasn't though. So that's what kind of threw me off.
Oh, is there such a thing as a dry ejaculation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you have like a regular ejaculate?
What's up, Energy?
Do you have a regular ejaculate?
Yeah, pretty sure of it.
Yeah. I mean, you might also be having like a little bit premature ejaculation.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
All right, we only have a few minutes left. I want to get to the phones. Let's start with Rick in Pittsburgh. Rick, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what a fantastic show today. And, Eric, great job today, buddy. Be proud of yourself, man. It was so great to see you happy. What I wanted to raise was the song, When I See Beth Smiling. If that was ever released as a single, what a great way to play a tribute to Lonnie Heckman, to get some publicity for Sirius, and maybe even have some money go to some charity. It'd probably take, what, $500,000 to put that as the #1 song on the charts? I think it's easily doable with the Stern fan base. What do you think?
I agree. You know, when we first heard that song, the reason we gave it to Howard is we thought it was so bad that it was sort of funny. But it does get in your head.
No, it's a good melody.
Yeah.
Artie,
no, it's a good melody.
Artie mentioned this on the air, and we were talking about it at the wedding. That poor guy died. You've sang the song. Shaw Blade sang the song. It's become sort of a legendary song, certainly on this show and beyond. And he's not there to...
It's so sad. But you know what I noticed? Did anyone notice when whoever called his mom to do the news story on it and said who sang it at Howard's wedding? It was kind of like... I don't think she likes it.
Oh, really? Not a fan of yours?
She might be a Republican. I'm just guessing.
Hey, Garrett, based on what you said before, we should honor Lonnie with a real doll.
Lonnie, the guy that...
Lonnie Heckman, yeah.
What did he look like?
In what respect?
Well, just you said it was a great honor to have a real doll made of you.
Yeah, but we don't know what he looks like.
Oh, we'll find out.
I got a live model.
How are you going to
right
measure him?
You can still be measured.
Really?
Yeah.
But, you know, I was with Artie when Natalie sang it at the wedding. It was poignant and on both those levels. It did make me sort of sad because it was such a nice thing. And then I really did think of the guy, especially Lonnie's mom had sent me pictures of the night Shaw Blades came to town. And she was on stage with them. And she wrote Howard this beautiful thank you note about how much it meant. And so the whole thing was a great moment of love, but it was also really sad. And I thought of that guy. God, if he were alive, he'd be so thrilled.
Me too. I told everybody that story.
He was sick and did he know he was going to die or?
Yeah, I think he had a long-term... He died of kidney failure, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he knew he was going to die, but he was sick for a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he knew that.
And it was weird because a lot of people at the wedding didn't know the story, and I ended up telling a few people. In fact, I was telling Pat Monahan the story. I said, you know, this guy wrote the song, and then he passed away, and everyone was like, oh, it just made it a little bit more special.
Natalie, were you nervous performing for that at the wedding, or was it just...
Oh, my God, absolutely. I never perform by myself. And I don't do many weddings.
Well, that James Taylor story you told was
yeah, and you know
great,
what?
too.
Then I forgot to tell the other part about that guy. I love just watching people. He cracked me up. But when I went into sound check earlier that day, you know, we'd already established that he wouldn't be singing. So we're playing and we're doing it, and he is singing. So we finished, and I said, you know, I think I'm still going to stick with me just singing it. And he was like, oh, okay, all right, oh, that's fine, I won't sing. And he, like, instead of just not singing, he, like, makes a big gesture of, like, pushing storming the microphone away from him. And his friend was like, oh, what do you... He was like, oh, I'm not singing, so you can just take this away. I was like, oh, my.
Just total attitude?
Yeah, well, I'm sure I messed up his hopes. He wanted to sing it, but he was just... The guy cracked me up. It was funny.
And when he was singing later, the Billy Joel song was You're My Home, which is off Piano Man. But the second song that he sang with Billy Joel, nobody could figure out what it was. The theory is it was a James Taylor song for obvious reasons, but did you recognize that tune? Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, I know every James Taylor song. Well,
he
what
sang.
was it?
He sang You're My Home.
Right.
And then he sang another song.
Well, Sweet Baby James, they did together.
Right.
Then it was You're My Home, which is the Billy song.
And then it was sort of a
third...
more current James Taylor song, but nobody knew what it was.
I knew what it was, but I just can't remember.
Okay, we're still searching.
I know everything.
By the way,
like Robin.
By the way, James Taylor coming soon to the Howard Stern Show.
Oh, really?
Really?
Very soon.
I can't believe it.
In fact, if you could stay a couple more days, Natalie, come back again. We love him.
I just thought after that brilliant interview with Carly Simon and their son, I thought he's never coming back here because he knows what's in store.
Well, he might be coming back.
Well, there's something to look forward to. Teddy's playing music. We've got to wrap up. Eric the Midget,
That's an A-lister, by the way. Take note, A-lister.
Eric, what would you like to plug?
JFSC.TV and JFSE.TV/ETA, my store.
All right, go check out Eric. Eric, thank you for being on the wrap-up show. Natalie, anything you'd like to plug?
No, but Eric, that you should be plugging Eric the actor, ericthemidget.com.
Listen to her. She knows what she's talking about, Gar.
Look for my column, Gadget Gary, at soundandvision.com, soundandvisionmagazine.com.
Benji.
DialDancer.com.
Teddy, where can people catch Artie?
November 21st, the Wilbur Theater in Boston. 2 shows, Friday night.
Will Artie be making a trip to Buffalo in between shows?
I think so, yeah.
He was pretty taken with
Everybody was. She was hot.
All right.
I like she was so hot, Artie's willing to meet her halfway.
Tonight, 7 o'clock on Howard 101, listen to Dante, the first of our contestants on the I Want to Be Howard Stern contest. And thank you for listening to the wrap-up show. Oh, we got a little time, don't we? All right. Eric, anything else you'd like to say? We got a couple seconds.
Not anything I could think of.
Any special thanks, something like that?
A song, a number?
Well, thanks for having me in here as a guest.
And thanks for listening to Wrap Up on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Now it's Howard 100 News at noon.
Around the world, then up your block.
It's time for America to wake up!
No more bullshit.
This is it. It's a revolution.
This is a Howard 100 News Brief.
I'm Ralph Howard. Down through the years, one historic meeting after another. Caesar and Cleopatra, FDR and Churchill, John and Yoko. And now it happened. Howard Stern and Eric the Midget together face to face. It's Howard 100 News exclusive.
Howard 100 exclusive.
I'm glad I'm here.
Eric the Midget, barely containing his excitement over finally being in the Stern studio. Howard pulled out all the stops. Natalie Maines from the Dixie Chicks, wrestler Kurt Angle, Eric's true love, Diana DeGarmo, the girls from the Bunny Ranch, and high-pitch Eric dressed as Kelly Clarkson all came by to say hello.
It was good. You know, it was a little torture here and there. The high pitch ended up going up, even though I was hoping he wouldn't.
What was it like meeting Howard?
It was cool to meet Howard.
What about when Diana walked in the room?
That was a little shocking.
What'd that feel like?
It was good. To see her again.
What a surprise, huh?
Yeah.
Kurt tried to push Eric into asking Diana out.
I'm a little bit upset with Diana. I think she should have let Eric ask her formally out to a date, to dinner, and she should have gone. Screw her boyfriend. You know, this was Eric's dream.
Well, the best Diana could do was to say to him that she'd hit him up on MySpace.
I just don't right now. I don't have anything scheduled out in California in the next few months, but you never know. He's actually sent me lots of stuff. I'm one of the few who actually does run their own MySpace page, and he definitely sends me messages and posts comments and stuff, and I always respond back, so he's very sweet.
Yep, the ladies love Eric. Natalie was so glad she flew in from the West Coast to meet him.
He's cute. He was cute with Diana. Could you see him genuinely smile for the first time? He's giddy on the inside, you can tell. He's cute.
Gary Delabate has seen a lot over the past 20 years, but this one he knew from the start was very special.
Natalie being here was great. Diana DeGarmo, Kurt Angle, huge surprise. You didn't see it coming. Kelly Clarkson, just enough of her. I'd say it was a perfect segment.
Gary says Eric's appearance ranks right up there with one of the best of 2008. For Howard 100 News, I'm Lisa G.
Another major highlight of today's Stern Show was Natalie singing When I See Beth Smiling, which Natalie also sang at the Howard and Bethel wedding. But first, Natalie rehearsed with Fred Norris in the green room.
Let me go get a tuner. I'm going to see if they can print that out for me. So, what key is this thing?
I did it in that key, and where did I have my key, Phil? But you don't play it. I played with that other guy. When I see Beth smiling, time just fades away. Nighttime turns to day.
So finally, everybody in the Stern world got to hear Natalie sing When I See Beth Smiling, now part of Stern Show history. Bubba the Love Sponge coming up live at 3 p.m. Eastern and Howard 101.
Around the world and up your block.
We're at war. Lives are simply not going to be as normal as they were in the past.
Howard 100 News.
The Stern world was severely shaken by Howard Stern blasting Ralph Cirella for being a lousy house guest. A mutual friend is surprised and defends Ralph. It's Howard 100 News behind the scenes.
Howard 100 News behind the scenes.
I heard the wrap-up show. I thought it was pretty shocking. Those two really seemed to be, they were really going at it.
Sam Simon, a man who says he not only tolerates Ralph Cirella, but enjoys hanging out with him, telling Howard 100 News he suspects there's more going on with the Stern-Cirella fight than meets the ear.
I don't know what this is about, but it is clearly not about what they're fighting about on the air. I think there's something else festering here.
Sam Simon says he believes the complaints about Ralph's behavior and misbehavior are not just old news. They're part of the great Sorella legend.
Listen, part of the reason that I enjoy having Ralph around is, you know, you kind of don't know what's going to happen next. Sometimes, I guess it's vomit in your bed, but that's sort of the price of admission, I think.
Simon says he not only stands by his support of Ralph Sorella, he's including Ralph in another holiday get-together this year.
We're going to Hawaii again this Thanksgiving. I mean, I really enjoy Ralph's company.
Sam trying to put his finger on what's eating Howard, wondering if the boss-employee relationship between Stern and Sorella might be behind the tension here.
There's something touchy and complicated about being friends with people that work for you and that are your boss. And I can't help but think that there's an element of that.
Sam Simon saying the whole on-air fight between Howard and Ralph makes him sad. But
as bad as I feel for Ralph and as bad as I feel about the situation, I mean, it is hilarious when you listen to it. So, you know.
For Howard 100 News, I'm Steve.
Coming up, Greg Fitzsimmons Live with Kevin Nealon at midnight Eastern, Howard 101. Now today's poll question from Howard 100 News. What part of Eric the Midget's visit to the Stern Show was your favorite? Your choices are talking to the girls from the Bunny Ranch, wrestler Kurt Angle, the live studio audience including Natalie Maines, or Eric meeting his surprise guest, Diana DeGarmo. To vote, go to the Howard Stern page at Sirius.com. For Sirius Traffic and Weather on Demand, go to channels 148 to 158. For XM Traffic and Weather on Demand, channels 210 to 230.
Howard 100 News. This is Don't Miss It News. Everything you need to know about Howard is here. Howard 100.
Monday Night Football and the weekend action. Talk about it with Scott Farrell, live from 8 until midnight Eastern at Howard 101. And live play-by-play of all NFL games on Sirius 124 and 105 on XM. The Led Zeppelin channel is now happening on Sirius Channel 12, XM 39. When you spot news related to the Stern Show, email Howard100News at Sirius-radio.com. Or call 877-33-SIRIUS and go to 100 for the Howard 100 News tip line. Another Howard 100 News Brief at the top of the hour, or as close as we can get.
Howard 100.